Good morning, my beautiful, beautiful kings and queens. Hopefully, this is a beautiful and a blessed day for you. This morning, I got a word from the Lord, and it was the enemy wants you to die in your desert place. So I'm here to tell you, I don't know who this is for, but do not die in your desert place. Where you are, anointed one, is a place that is preparing you for the promise. And oftentimes, when you are being prepared for the promise, you're going to go through a desert season. You're going to go through a time where everything looks dry. You're going to go through a time where the provision of God may lessen. And that is so that he can show you that he can provide. That is so that he can give you the spiritual and the physical manna. And that is his provision from heaven. And when you are in that desert place, that is often a time of testing. That is often a time of subtraction. That is often a time where your faith is going to be stretched. And the enemy wants you to lay down in that desert place, and the enemy wants you to die, because he knows if you are able to physically, spiritually, mentally get out of that desert place, you are going to enter into a place of your promise. So I don't know who I am speaking to this morning, but don't die in this desert place. When you are in your drought season, when you are in the season where it seems like heaven has shut its doors on you, this is the time for worship. This is the time for praise. This is the time for you to do some reflecting. Look back and see what other desert seasons that God has brought you out of. Look back and see what other trials, what other tribulations have you overcome in your past, and show yourself worthy, show yourself approved of the promised land. Because when you are in the desert season, God is testing your character. He's testing your faith. He is testing the very substance that is on the inside of you. Don't die. Don't die in this place where the enemy will often whisper lies. The enemy will often say, God has forgotten you. The enemy will often say, where is your God now? The enemy will often say, whatever it is that God promised you, that was of your own fruition, that was of your own doing. See, this is a place where the enemy often comes with temptation. The enemy often comes when you are in your desert place, because that is the place also of bewilderment. That is often the place where a little confusion can set in. Like, did I actually hear what God has spoken over my life? Do you remember the enemy tested Christ when he was in the desert? He said, all of these things can be yours if you just bow down. But the enemy also knew the promise that was over Yeshua's life. So how can I promise you something that is already promised to you? So this is a place also where you have to differentiate the voice of the enemy from the voice of God, because the enemy is always whispering lies. The enemy is always saying, you did not hear God properly. The enemy is always saying, but didn't God promise? And when he says those things, it is up to you to decree and declare the promise of God over your life. Because if you are able to make it through the desert season, I promise you that the promised land is right up ahead. A land that is flowing with milk and honey, a land that God promised to your forefathers. So while you are receiving the manna, give God thanks. Don't complain about the food of Egypt. Don't complain about the comforts that you used to enjoy in Egypt, because freedom is just up ahead. Don't die in your desert place. Love you guys. Always, always be kind. Have a great day.